Not sure about you guys, but I've been having so much fun with this DLC. Greetings to you all. Before we even delve into this video, I am giving 3 DLC giveaways. So I'm going to let you know how to obviously get yourself involved. So what you have to do is label me 3 of your favorite fighters. Yeah, label me 3 favorite fighters. Make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you like this video as well. Pretty simple. The main thing is make sure you subscribe because it just shows some support and I always appreciate it, guys. But we got a lot to talk about. Let's delve into it. The Takeover DLC brings an exciting mix of talented fighters featuring both current stars and legendary names who are no longer in the sport. The lineup includes Teofimo Lopez, Augustus, Alimkhanuly, I can't pronounce his full name properly so I do apologize, Fundora, Tszyu and Diego Corrales. In addition, Tarver and Billy Dib join the roster as free fighters, meaning that you do not have to purchase the DLC to use these fighters. On top of that, the update also delivers fresh new attires for fan favorites such as Canelo Alvarez, Harper, Cal Brook, Roy Jones Jr. and Daniel Jacobs, giving players even more variety inside the ring. To me, this ain't a bad lineup, and what we're about to do right now is delve into more about the fighters. We're going to give them a rating, and I'm going to tell you who my favorite fighter is in the DLC. Let's go. While every fighter in the pack brings strong attributes to the ring, each of them feel unique in their own way. I decided to break down with my own ratings and share which one stood out as my most favorite. So we're going to start off with Diego Corrales, who is tall, solid and highly accurate with his punches, and he gets an 8 out of 10 for me. Tarver, slick, surprisingly quick for his build and uses his reach well, and I've given him a 7 out of 10. Augustus, easily the most unique out of the bunch. His orthodox style and distinctive jab makes him really fun to use, and I've given him a 8, going towards a 9 out of 10. Tszyu, I've given him a 8 out of 10. Great punching animations and reliable all round. He's fantastic in my opinion. I feel like, you know, he has a chance standing in ranked. So I'm going to experience him a bit more and potentially could give him a high rating. Fundora, 7 out of 10. Very tall, fast and capable of competing in ranked matches when used effectively. Teofimo Lopez, 7 out of 10. Solid overall with smooth combinations that make him quite versatile. Apologies if I pronounced his name wrong again. Tall, great reach and sharp jab that makes him dangerous at mid-range. I have scored him a 7.5 out of 10. And Billy Dib, 7 out of 10, a great addition to the lower weight classes with fast hands and a very accurate punch. You guys are probably thinking, who am I going to pick out of the pack? Despite the overall pickings, I am going to edge towards Corrales at the moment. You know I've rated a couple of fighters a bit higher than him, but you know, that's just from an overall perspective. Who I'm feeling the most, I've given Corrales, and I feel like this guy can definitely compete online. I was leaning towards Augustus, but he's gonna have some issues if he come across fast fighters for sure. You know, I know everybody's got their own, you know, weakness, but I feel like Corrales all around, he's pretty much solid. Despite the fact that we have had the DLC fighters, we had a couple of updates as well. And I don't know if you guys have realized or actually felt the differences. There has been a couple of differences, some very known ones as well. So we're going to start off with the nerf of Sergio Martinez. I can confirm that he's definitely been nerfed. I'm so happy for this. We need a round of applause because he needed to be nerfed. And I'm so glad he has, because he had the upper hand, and I'm glad the devs have realized this. So shouts out to everybody who was on this to obviously solve this case. Another thing that I realized as well, guys, and trust me on this, there's been an improvement with regards to the scorecards. I was on a stream last night. Shouts out to everybody that tapped in. I appreciate you all. And I mostly predicted, I did it on purpose. I predicted all the fights, and they were more or less, you know, how I was thinking, and that's good. I can honestly say there's definitely been an improvement with the scorecards. You will see it gradually if you haven't. You know, just try to be realistic with yourself, and if you know you're losing a fight, expect to see the scorecards obviously being a loss. you know, with regards to the round that you're in. But overall, I can say that, you know, I believe that there's been some change. Also with the stream as well, the update itself, I didn't experience any crashes at all, any quick glitches or anything like that. Fingers crossed that it don't erase. A few people have been stating that they've experienced it, but I didn't experience it at all, and I was on PC. And the last positive I would say is the rebalance of the southpaw. Now this is important. The reason why it's important is due to the fact that before the actual update, everybody could fight southpaw, and for some reason some of them were more enhanced, and it's not realistic, is it? So what Undisputed have done is rebalance the southpaw mechanic by allowing the same speed as that current fighter. You know, you can't say everybody can't fight southpaw. Some don't prefer to obviously fight southpaw, but obviously some that do switch southpaw, they're either gonna have the same speed or less. So it's not giving the upper hand anymore, and I love that. I really love that. I've tried it with many fighters as well. You can clearly see that there's been an improvement with regards to this. Now we're going to move on to the negatives. We're going to get straight into it. So the first one, I believe that certain punch animations need tuning. There's a lot of fighters on here. Antonio Tarver, for example, he's one of the new fighters. When he slips and performs the body hook, it's too slow. And I'm only saying that because in comparison to other fighters, they seem to be a lot quicker. We definitely need some more individual enhancements with some fighters, if not all, just to kind of re-look again. Because there's a lot of fighters that could be more tweaked. So for example, look at Emanuel Augustus. His style is very unique, and you can tell that he was fully focused on. There's a lot of fighters in this game could have the same. You know, for example, Floyd Patterson, he could more probably introduce the peekaboo style. I know he's very good at the game, but if you imagine if he had that inside the game, and it's definitely possible. Look at Jack Dempsey as well. You know, these guys are very unique with what they did, and I feel like a lot of individual work should be more implemented, like looked into. I was sitting there thinking, where should I place with what I'm about to say now? And I've pushed it towards the negative side, and that is the power jabs. The reason why I've put the power jabs more in the negative section is due to the fact that not everybody can perform a power jab. I believe that this specific attribute should be leaning towards specific fighters. So for example, Larry Holmes, arguably probably the greatest person that had the best jab ever. So there's only specific fighters that can do this. I'm not saying that you can't knock people out with a jab. I'm not saying that at all, but there's people out there that really utilized it well. You know, the simple fact that everybody can use it and you can get knocked out with it, you know, it's a bit like but at the same time as well, you know, people can latch onto these things and abuse it. But then again, there's a downfall to this, because if they keep abusing it, the good thing about it is their stamina will decrease. So I don't think in the long run this will be any issues at all. But to add it inside the game, is it necessarily needed? No, but to specific fighters, yes. The last one that I experienced was the random stuns, and I don't know what was going on. I don't know if you guys were in my live, and again, shouts out to the guys that watched my live. There was a lot of times that I was getting some random stuns, and I don't know if this is a new thing. I did go back to the actual the updates, and I never seen anything like this stated. You know, there was a lot of times I was getting stunned, like being fully fresh, stamina all the way up, you know, in the first and second round, and I kept getting stunned, kept getting stunned, and I don't know why it was happening. Maybe this is some error or something, you know, and I get certain fighters getting stunned, but I was getting stunned out of nowhere, and I don't know why it was happening. And I've put this in the negative side. Probably down the line, I will obviously mention this to the devs themselves and the reason why this was happening, but I'm going to see how it plans out throughout and then just go from there. Guys, as you can tell, this DLC's been fantastic. I've enjoyed it. As a matter of fact, it might be my best DLC that I've purchased so far. Moving onwards, I believe that Undisputed need to target more top tier fighters. definitely. No disrespect to all the fighters that have come. I think they're fantastic. But to give the game a bit more of a spark, we gotta target the big guys. You know, for example, when I seen the Crunk, you know, advertisement from Undisputed themselves, I believe that they was gonna bring a couple of fighters from the Crunk gym. They have got a few fighters, this is the thing. So they obviously seem to have some sort of link to them. Meaning with this, I feel like they could bring some more of the fighters. So I heard rumors about Hearns joining, you know, a couple of other fighters as well. And I was getting pumped because I feel like adding somebody like Hearns to the game will do miracles, honestly. I do believe that Undisputed do need to target, you know, them type of fighters for the next DLC. And we're not asking for the whole DLC to be full of these top ranking fighters. We're not asking for that. We're asking at least 1 or 2 to be added, you know, because a lot of favorite fighters that people have are still not currently in the game. And I know they will eventually get there, but I just feel like it's really important to obviously add these type of fighters in. Shouts out to the Crunk gym, man. There's so many fighters. If you guys have not checked my last video, go check it out. You know, we did have like a browse going down. Shouts out to Detroit as well. All the guys from Detroit, that gym's legendary. You know, they had Lennox Lewis as well. He was heavily linked. Just imagine if he came in. Shouts out to the Undisputed team as well. They was in my stream last night. I appreciate them all. The guys down there, Shep as well. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys supporting, man. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, get yourself involved with the DLC. Get yourself involved with just spreading love. Big Marv, peace.